Welcome back to another episode of the Nottingham Forest Career Mode here on FC26. It is the start of Season 2, where last season we went ahead and ended the season off with the FA Cup win and a Europa League win as well. So we have the Community Shield and the UEFA Super Cup coming up next against Liverpool, and then we play Real Madrid. But here we are. This is our current state of the squad here. We have 34-year-old Chris Wood. He is on his way out. He's actually retiring in-game at the end of the season, but we're going to try and sell him to get some money for him. We have Sales, who is 34 years of age, 83 overall. We are transfer listing him to sell him. Our center back pairing is good enough for now, in all honesty. If there's an improvement angle, then we can use it. Anya is going to be go ahead and listed on the transfer market as well. Brown is good enough as well, but improvement angle is definitely on him. Quenda is our number one right winger. We do have Bakwa on the bench. We have Ndoye training to be a left winger. Him and Pak Shao almost good enough to be our replacement. And we have a lot of loanees back at the club. And I mean a lot of loanees back at the club. Some that was on loan at the start of the save as well. A lot of those guys have been loan listed, and a lot of those guys have been transfer listed as well. So we are looking to clear house in this squad, to be completely honest. And it starts with a lot of these younger guys to just loan them out. And talking about the younger guys here, we are going to go ahead and have the Youth Academy out again just for this season. See what happens, see what we can get. Probably won't show you anything unless they're all crazy. And initially, we have 158 million in our transfer budget. I expect this to rise close up to 200 to 200 plus million in our transfer budget once we get rid of a lot of the deadwood before we start signing some players. So let's get into that. Let's see what happens, and let's prepare a Champions League fighting squad. And we have the first player walking out the front doors here at Nottingham Forest. Now, is it a loanee or a selling? Been a lot of both in all honesty. I think this one is a sell, though. It is David Carmo going over to Manchester United for 13 million. He was a center back that we were never going to use, so he's off there. We could have made 5 million more. It doesn't matter. He was never going to play. We also say goodbye to Ibrahim MBI, who has been loaned out again to FC Mines. I think this is going to be a signing that I just didn't have to make, and I just wanted to make in all honesty. He's again on loan for 2 years this time. We'll see whether or not he stays there for 2 years or just 1 year, or what even happens there. But there's 2 players gone out the front doors already. Now, Endrick is looking to leave Real Madrid at some point, whether it be in the winter window or even at the end of next season. I think he wants to leave as soon as possible, aka in that winter window. Now, there's talks about him going on loan to other clubs in the Premier League. There's also talks about him going to loan otherwhere, not domestically, but otherwhere in the European countries as well. We are going to look to bring him in. There was, I believe, a short time where he was a possible linkage for Nottingham Forest. I don't know why. I didn't do my research and try and backtrack this, but I have it in my brain that he was a possible option for Nottingham Forest, and I think now I'm getting a mistake with West Ham in all honesty. But we are going to look to bring him in. Now, obviously, Real Madrid are open to let him to go on loan. The game is not opening and letting me go on loan because his contract is expiring at the end of the season, so they're doing that whole contract is too short. So we are just going to go ahead and sell him, and I don't know if he's going to be first choice striker, honestly. I really don't know if he's going to be first choice striker, and honestly, I am willing to let go or just get rid of Igor Jesus or even Kelly Mwendo. These 2 strikers are transfer listed. I mean, everybody here is transfer listed, so we're going to offer them Igor Jesus plus around 22 million. See what they say. That 38 million market value. Obviously, his contract expiring, so we should get it cheaper anyway, even on cash value. They say they're comfortable with that, so easy done, easy said. Endrick is going to come in for really just 22 million in that cash value. Igor Jesus is not a loss at all. Now, the important thing is, obviously, he's going to probably want important, which he will. If we do sign a new striker, I will change his contract to rotation. In all honesty, off of that, I do think we are still going to look to sign a number 1 striker. He is 80 overall at 19 years old, though. We're going to sign him for a 5-year deal, get him locked down for pretty much the rest of the save here. No release clause, obviously not in England, is not mandatory. And he can have 100 million. He is coming down a level, technically, in game in the eyes of EA, obviously in the eyes of real life as well. He will accept 100K. It's only a 5K pay cut. In all honesty, he's going to accept that at 19 years old. Welcome to the club, Mr. Andrick. Our first signing of Season 2 is the Brazilian Bobby Charlton. And we have a brand new goalkeeper. Mr. Silvar is going to come in from AS Roma. And it is a straight swap deal plus 20 million in cash for Mr. Sells. So we say goodbye to Sells. Instead of selling him directly for cash funds, we go ahead and include him in a swap deal. That way Roma still have some type of keeper in their team there. He is aging. Obviously, Sells is aging. He's 34, 35 years of age, so he's not going to be great for them for much longer. But we do have Savar, who's 26 years of age at 83 overall, so you have more time to grow and age to grow with them. Now, I was battling between him and 21-year-old Restes. I feel like that's an obvious option these days, so we're going to switch it up and bring in Miles Savar for Matt Sells plus 20 million. So welcome into Nottingham Forest, sir. And we say goodbye to Omari Hutchinson to Crystal Palace for 10.6 million. We will look at a backup cam again for him. The board said we could have got 4 million more than that. It does not really matter. There's also the option that we go ahead and stay in-house and use one of our youth academy players. That is quite decent. I think that is what my initial plan was in my head when I was setting up the second season, because I don't have a cam transfer list or transfer not listed but shortlisted, if you know what I mean. So I think I wanted to keep in-house with the cam, so I don't know if that would still be in my realm, in my head once it comes to it, but for now we're staying in-house, I guess. Also, I did go ahead and obviously there is a load of pre-gens that come into the game here and regens. I have mudded, aka just ruined a lot of the pre-gens. If there was a Jude Bellion pre-gen, Matthias Sells pre-gen, even though there wasn't a Matthias, I keep saying Matthias, it's Matt Sells, a Matt Sell regen or pre-gen, something like that. That was like 88, 89 overall. They are now 60s to 70s with a potential of only like 82, 83. That is so thankful for Live Editor. I would love if VA just got rid of pre-gens and regens in the entirety, but that will never happen. And yeah, it's a horrible, horrible thing that we have to deal with, and it's even worse on console because you can't really do anything about it. So the other, we loaned out another youth player. We have loaned out a couple youth players now. Now, obviously, we want to improve on our fullback situation here, and so we go ahead and bring in Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri was shortlisted in the back of my head for quite a while. I was keeping track on him throughout the season from the January transfer window. Once I kind of knew I wanted a new left back to come in next season, that's why we signed Brown, in all honesty, because I didn't really like Williams, and we're going to look to possibly get rid of Williams or Brown and offload them to Manchester City here. Aït-Nouri just didn't get the game time he would get in real life, or he would get in the game to kind of but kind of essentially say that he should stay at Manchester City and not maybe take that step down back a level to Nottingham Forest. But he just didn't get the game time in for them. In fact, Josip Gavardio, the left back in game, has been getting the game time for him. So Aït-Nouri isn't really developing at Manchester City, so we're going to look to bring him in. Now, obviously, we have Nathaniel Brown and Nico Williams. Neco Williams, if you want to say. I'm willing to let go rid of Neco Williams. I know he's 25 years of age. He's 80 overall, so he's 4 overalls worse than him. We're going to go ahead and try and bring him in for 19 million. It seems like I offer a player value or a player in a swap deal and then 19 million on cash. It keeps our transfer budget high up. If they accept it, they want 39 million plus him. That is absurd. So they obviously rate Aït-Nouri a lot higher, which they should. But we're going to go down to 20 million. I mean, it's only 1 million more. They want 39. We'll offer them 27.5. See what they say. That's a big jump for where we were. Pretty much almost 10 million. Not yet. 13 million. Okay, I'm honestly willing to let go or say to go down to 30 million there. They pretty much are going to have to accept this or walk out. They want 30.4. We're going to accept it because if we go anymore, they will just walk out. That tension bar was filled to the top. And so Aït-Nouri is going to come in for 30.4 million plus Neco Williams. Obviously, he's going to want Crucial. He can have Crucial. He will be our #1 left back. If I had to change Nathaniel Brown's role, I will. Obviously, no release clause, 4-year contract. He's currently 125,000. They really need a backdrop. I feel like they had a backdrop on it. It just disappeared. He's gonna accept 100,000. Is he gonna accept 100,000? He's gonna accept 110,000. A 15,000 pound wage cut. 780,000 and signing bonus. Sure. Ain't Nori, welcome into Nottingham Forest. It feels weird still having Ainge as manager, but I can't change that unless I was to get sacked, and I will always stay as Ainge, so it does not matter. And we are going to go ahead and bring in one backup center back in the name of Hiroki Ito. He comes in from Bayern Munich. The Japanese joins the squad for just that 20 million mark. Welcome into the team. 27 years age, 80 overall. Welcome in. He will provide backup at center back. Could also play left back as well. Welcome into the squad. And we say goodbye to 42.5 million from our transfer budget, and that player is the reason why we have a new right back. We do not include Ola Enya in that right back position. We are possibly maybe keep him as a backup. We'll see if we can sell him as well to recoup some cash funds into the squad here. But Timo Livramento, or Tino Livramento, however you want to say his first name, I don't know if it's Tino or Timo, but Livramento is going to come into the squad here from Newcastle United for 42.5 million pounds. Welcome in to Nottingham Forest and welcome into your new life. It is Tino Livramento, not Timo. Here we go. This is going to get interesting now. We have a transfer offer for Bakwa, who I was starting to kind of just let and say he was going to be our backup option and fight for that starting spot. I wanted to sell him. I was open to sell him, but it had to be abroad. It could not be domestically, and all we were getting for domestic was domestic, like Man United, Tottenham, Liverpool wanted him, Man City wanted him. We rejected them all, and now AC Milan comes in, which is quite ironic because there is a player from AC Milan I was quite interested in, and his name is, of course, Captain America, aka Christian Pulisic, aka the LeBron James of soccer. If we can just do a straight up swap here, we can exclude this transfer value, do a straight up swap here. What do they say? That will help out massively. Obviously we only have 41 in our transfer budget. We can't do what I wanted to do, and they do only want cash value for him. Well, if you want cash value, you're gonna have to pay up a little bit. So 37.5 million. See what they say to that. They want 33. I really don't want anything less than 35. So 36.5 million. We'll see what they say to that. And they say yes. Okay, so 36.5 million for Bakwa to go over to AC Milan, or Milano FC on here as it's called. Then sure, fine, be it. And with that money, we could bring in Pulisic ourselves. And Bakwa has been sold for 36.5 million over to AC Milan, so we say goodbye to him. That will open the door for Christian Pulisic, and if we are to bring in Christian Pulisic, that will unfortunately drop Quenda to the bench, which might hurt his development, but he will get a lot of game time. Now, we also sold him for, what, 34.5 it was? So, if we can get Christian Pulisic for cheaper than that, we'll absolutely take it. So, we are going to initially go on with 29.5 million. They're probably not going to say yes to that. In fact, they might even walk out. But 29.5 million, yep, okay, so they will walk out. So, we will come back in a week's times to bring Pulisic back in. Now, I'm not at all willing to let go of Elliot Anderson, and I'm only just doing this just in the off chance that they say yes to this. We obviously have a transfer offer from Arsenal for Mr. Elliot Anderson. We're going to bring this down to 0, and if you want Elliot Anderson, you must... Oh, they have Ryan Gravenberch. Okay, well, maybe that will change things. Oh, they have Yawa Gazar. Okay, so maybe this could get interesting. Oh, this could really get interesting here. This really could get interesting in here. I was coming in here just to say give me Declan Rice, but Declan Rice is not even at the club anymore. Give me Ryan Gravenberch, you can have him. You can have Elliot Anderson. No? Okay, cool, goodbye. Where is Declan Rice at then? Where is Mr. Declan Rice? Is he at Liverpool? Did they do a straight up swap deal? No, he's at PSG now. Okay, so that's interesting. And I believe this is going to be Ola Enya walking out the front doors as well. Maybe disheartened that we signed a right back to essentially replace him, and he was going to be a bench player. He seemed to be unhappy about that, so off a bench player, he goes to be at a bigger club, essentially in Manchester United. He has been sold to Man United for 28.7 million. Now, I don't think he'll be a first-team choice over there, but hey-ho, Seshko, goodbye to you. All your and it's a C rating as well. We could have got, what, 5.9 million more? We could have got 34 million. Well, the board still didn't think so. The board said 30 max. So that's interesting. That's some funds recuperated. We also say goodbye to Jota Silva. We have sold some more players. I'll go through that in a second. But Jota Silva was on loan at the start of the save, and he's been sold. He's never been part of my plans. So we say goodbye to him as well. And now we are back up to around 100. Oh my God, we're back up to 128 million in our transfer budget thanks to Bakwa and now him sold. So that will open the door back up for us to bring in some more players as well. And just to kind of show y'all some things that did happen, obviously some players I didn't show y'all coming out of the squad and leaving the squad. I obviously just didn't show y'all that. Like Mbai, he's off on loan. Ojeda, he's on loan. Another youth player, a youth player here, and Conte has been loaned. I feel like I don't have to show y'all youth players going on loan. Y'all should just know most of them are going on loan. We obviously say goodbye to Omari Hutchinson. He's off to Crystal Palace. We brought in Nori, Rivera, and Bustamante have been loaned out as well. Ito comes into the squad. Livramento comes in the squad. We say goodbye to Mr. Omar Richards, a 73 rated left back. He just wasn't good enough. He didn't really have a future. We say goodbye to Kyle Makadam to Demont Club for less than $1 million, and Joe Garner for less than $1 million. Ram is loaned. Savonia is loaned. However, with Onya Enya leaving the club, Savonia is going to be coming back into the squad to be our backup right back. Jamie McDonald has been sold for $2.3 million. Bakwa obviously got sold. James Mcate has been sold to Brighton for just under $10 million, and now Olia Enya and Jota Silva has both been sold. So that's where some of the money has been recuperated from. So we have to bring back Savonia back in from loan, and just try and figure out what to do from there, to be completely honest. And right before the first game of the season, which is only the Community Shield here against Liverpool, Captain America is able to join the squad here for just under 30. I don't remember. I just kind of did a deal. They instantly accepted. I think it's 35 million, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Push is going to join the squad. This is going to be a little bit of a longer episode here. We'll see what happens. And so 35 million. Now, here is the starting lineup in the bench at the moment. Obviously, things are subject to change, and in fact, I know some things will change coming into it before the actual season here when we kick off against Manchester City. But for now, we have Savar at center back, at goalkeeper. Livramento and Nori start at left back and right back, respectively, with Murillo and Milinkovic unchanged. Unchanged as well is kind of our midfield trio as well. Gibbs, White, Anderson, and Dominguez is your midfield three. It's impossible to get to Anderson and Dominguez here, as you can tell here, but these guys are your CDMs. Are they going to stay as your main CDMs? Dominguez is the one obviously odd out. If we are to replace him, he'll be out there. And in fact, we really don't have a backup. Our only backup is a 67 rated youth player in that regard. We have Pak Shao is still our left winger. Endrick gets that starting spot at striker for now, and then Captain America is your starting right winger with Quenda on the bench. We have Ndoye on the bench now, transition to a left winger. Calimundo is on the bench for now, but he could be on his way out to Napoli, and in fact, at the end of this game, he'll probably be on his way to Napoli there. Ward is our backup cam and kind of the player that we bought or have to not replace the Omari Hutchinson, essentially. Moss we just need a better CDM, so I'm going to go shopping for a CDM for sure. Murato and Ito are your current backup center backs. Murato, I don't know, will be remaining at the club. I think we'll look at a better backup center back. And right now, Jan Victor is your backup goalkeeper, but I think he's on his way out as well. And then obviously Savonia is in the squad as well, now back in the squad as our backup right back. So let's go and jump in here. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, actually, we are using Cutsy's old sliders slightly adjusted from the previous patch. There has been an update as of late that has changed the gameplay. The biggest change of the gameplay so far this season. In fact, so much so that people on Ultimate Team are saying that it has ruined that. Obviously, we play on competitive gameplay here as well with authentic features on. So it's a bit of both worlds of Ultimate Team and offline gameplay. So we'll see what happens with that. Cutsy has released new slider sets. I haven't changed those yet. I'm just going to play it by ear. And to be completely honest, I might just go back to default and just go 50-50 or use the authentic sliders and just boost up the sprint speed and acceleration. And we might go from there. But we'll see what happens for now as we get into the season and progress down the line. Dominguez into Endrick. Endrick out wide for Pulisic, and Pulisic now into the box. In for Morgan Gibbs White, 1-0. And Nottingham Forest have the lead 5 minutes in here against Liverpool. Slider adjusted might be needed. McAllister now on the ball. McAllister stopped by Elliot Anderson. Endrick will pick it up. Pulisic is making that run in behind, and here is Christian Pulisic now getting chased down by Kirkes. Pulisic crossed in, back post. Paxhao, header well off target. Endo, Zucchini, 1-1. Liverpool, get there, get back and draw level here. Anderson, Igor Paxhao, down to Nori. And after scoring that first goal, we actually haven't really had possession of the ball here too much. Igor Paxhao now getting past Virgil. Can he find Endrick? The answer is no. Allison reads that pass and cuts it in front there. From Pong. Virgil van Dijk, out wide for Salah. Mohamed Salah now into Florian Wirtz into Isak, and Isak now is in behind, and Alexander Isak now to take the lead, and Alexander Isak will take the lead. 2-1 for Liverpool here. And so a load of changes will come on just to give some game time to some players here. We have Ito coming on, Moss coming on to prove what he can do at CDM, Ward coming in to kind of prove what he can do at Cam and see whether or not we need to bring somebody else in that can play his position and loan him out. Cali Mendo, a good send-off for him, and Doy on the left, Quendo on the right. Let's see what happens. Ndoye wins the ball back. Ndoye crossed in. Calimundo. He has Saliba and Virgil to get past. It's a hard center back parachute to get past, especially on game terms. Ndoye now on the ball. Ndoye into Calimundo. He'll lay it off for Ward. Ward into Moss. Moss into Quenda. And now the Portuguese wonder kid losing the ball to Saliba. Calimundo into Ndoye. Ndoye crossing in for Quenda. That's a good ball by Ndoye. That's a great finish by Quenda. That was a fantastic ball by Ndoye. Wow, it's 2-2 here with 15 minutes left to go. Calimundo into Ndoye. Can we win it here? Can we at least take the lead? Ndoye now. Liverpool are very strong and uniform in the back line. Ward will lay it off for Moss, and Moss will have a crack at it, and it's forced to Allison palming out for a corner here. Anderson, I have nobody in the box here, but I do have Murillo, and Murillo has the power in the header of a fucking Goliath. It's 3-2 for Nottingham Forest. Ward, Moss, and that will be full time. Nottingham Forest are your Community Shield winners. Is trophy number 1 of the season. Obviously means absolutely nothing, but we'll take it. And right as we get out of the game and advance for a second, we go ahead and say goodbye to John Victor. He's off to Genoa for $1 million. But more importantly, we are going to go ahead and say goodbye to Cali Muendo. He's off to Napoli for $19 million as well. We will bring another striker. It will probably be a starting striker and dropping Endrick to the bench. But I think that is what we will do. Now, just like Chris Wood, he was tall, he was majestic. This could be a backfire option in all honesty, but Kai Havertz is going to come into the squad here. The 28-year-old now in game. I'm not quite sure how old he is, either 27 or 28 years old in the game. 83 overall. He's going to come in for 38.5 million, or just under that 40 million mark. He's going to come in. He's going to be the first choice striker. He is going to be essentially, he's a massive Chris Wood replacement in all Chris Wood stats as well. Kai Havertz joins the squad. I don't like him on FIFA. I really have never liked him on FIFA or FCs. We're going to give him another go here in this game. He's going to come in for 38.5 million. Welcome into Nottingham Forest. And we are going to go ahead and bring in that CDM backup option to bring into the squad here to add more quality depth into the squad. We go ahead and say hello to Ezekiel Fernandez. He comes in from Bayer Leverkusen for $15.5 million. Welcome into the squad now. We are going to go ahead and quick sim this game here against Real Madrid. I was thinking about playing it, but I'm just going to quick sim it, in which we lose 3-2. Endrick, against his former squad, scores in the 78th minute, but that's the only goal, and it's a consolation goal at that fact. Arda Güler and then an Mbappe brace in the second half is enough for Real Madrid to win that Super Cup. We are going to go ahead and end the episode here. When we come back tomorrow, we'll kick off the Premier League season against Manchester City. But just to give a wrap-up on what we've done so far this season, we have brought in 222 million. 131 of that has been obviously transfers coming into the squad, or leaving the squad, and that money coming into the bank. We have spent 227 million on players coming into the squad, obviously leaving the bank balance now. We are at a minus 16 million in the profit margin there, so we're negative in that regard, which is completely fine in all honesty. But 227 million we spent on transfers this season so far, and I don't think I'm done yet. We do have 47 million more to spend, but when we come back, we kick it off against Man City, then Brighton at home, and then obviously going away to Aston Villa. It'll be interesting to see that. It'll be a strong season. I will see y'all there. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.